All right, welcome. Um, we'll give um, uh, credit where it's due. Today, I wanted to do a uh, blessing practice that Rabbi Jordan Ben-Dot Appel shared with me in response to great input from Ruth about is it better to have a mantra or something to say in order to help kind of focus. Meditation wants a kind of alertness to it. Sometimes that's in the posture, kind of activating the core, moving to the front of the chair, sitting up straight. Sometimes it can be in keeping the eyes open. But the sense that we're not looking to be asleep, which can easily happen, always happens to people in meditation, but to be awake to what's going on, and how to strike that balance between having just enough stimulus removed to be able to have a very plain, calm focus versus how to give enough to do for yourself to work with boredom or malaise or stagnancy that can easily also kind of become a part of practice. So there's this balance, and I would say everyone has their own kind of feel for how tired you are, what mood you're in, what's going to help you do this practice at that time, and probably their own personal tolerance for stuff, how much stuff you want versus not. I was saying like I was always a fidgeter. I always needed to do stuff in order to pay attention. And so today we'll give the mind a little bit to chew on, not to focus on that per se, but just or to help keep our attention present. And the blessing practice, again, mentioned, we'll do the first of three, is based on the priestly blessing practice that's given in the Torah. We'll focus on the first one today. Maybe we'll do this over the next sessions, moving through. One thing about the blessing practice people should know, so there's these priestly blessings. People are familiar with them. Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Yer Hashem panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. The first blessing has 3 words, and the second blessing of the 3 has 5 words, and the final one has 7 words. Kind of to make sure. And so there's an increase of 3, 5, 7 built into the rhythm of the blessing that's meant to show a multiplicity or an increase as the blessing doubles down on itself. And even the word blessing means, from Baruch or Barich, the root Hebrew, is rooted in plenty or many, Bet as the numerology of 2, and Resh, the second letter of 200, and Kaf, the final letter of 20. So the whole thing is built on sort of having feeling like things are full in a good way. It was built into the structure. The first one, we're going to chart the blessing with the breath. So on the in-breath, you'll say, may I feel blessed, or blessed, blessed. And of course, that's related to the in-breath in this case. All of this is a lens for the breath. So it's not just we happen to be saying blessed while we're breathing in, but the act of breathing in is an act of accepting blessing, of accepting so much air that allows us to breathe, to have energy, to live. So blessed. And on the out breath, which, out breath, exhaling does cause calm in the body, v'yishmerecha, you feel safe. So blessed and safe. And of course, the basic understanding of this, and so that's related to the out breath. And so we're using, you can say it in full, may I feel blessed, may I feel safe, or you can just use a shorthand, blessed on the in breath, safe on the out breath. Not just to say these words, but to, the attention is still with the breath, if that makes sense. We're using the words to have a lens or a quality of the breath that we're appreciating as a way of bringing our focus there and becoming present to this thing which is going on, of the blessing and the safety inherent in breathing. And one of the reasons to cultivate this practice now, or ever, like the sages say, if there's no safety, you can't appreciate blessing. There's material blessing, but people might take it, and it's not a blessing. But also, when we feel vulnerable, and now is a vulnerable time, it's always a vulnerable time to be a human, but now that's part of being human and alive. The more we can cultivate our own internal feelings of safety in each moment, right, this moment, the more we're able to act not from places of fear, but from places of idealism or virtue in a particular moment, which often we would prefer to. So that's the practice. Any questions about the practice before we start?
Nope.
Okay. So find a seat. You may want to check in with your posture and see if it's the way you like. Find a comfortable spot for your hands. Perhaps you want to put them on your knees or something like that, or maybe you want to put them one hand holding the other. Feeling the feet on the ground. Checking in with how you're feeling physically in your body. Closing your eyes if you haven't already, and coming to rest attention with the breath. On the in-breath, may I feel blessed or blessed. On the out-breath, may I feel safe or safe. Blessed and safe. Blessed and safe. Getting into a rhythm of these constantly oscillating realities with the breath in your body. Maybe today, charting the breath in the diaphragm, if you're comfortable doing that, but you don't have to. As long as for sort of seeing the breath come in and out and letting it come in fully. And we'll sit here. And staying with the breath, perhaps wiggle your toes, move your fingers. Gradually opening your eyes. And give a moment if there are any questions or comments about the practice. Okay, and if not, wish you a good day.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.